What's good, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. Like, share, subscribe, comment, IG, TikTok, bottom of the video, and we're just gonna hop right into it. So today we're doing another basketball video since they recently just lost on Monday night, and we'll be doing how do we fix the Los Angeles Lakers. Obviously, we've seen the Los Angeles Lakers have lost to the they got swept by the Oklahoma City Thunder after winning the first round against the Houston Rockets, which not a lot of people expected, even with the injury of Kevin Durant, because they were down their two best scorers in Austin Reeves and Luca. Even though Austin Reeves did come back later in the series and has been playing the OKC series. Did Austin Reeves come back in the series? Anyway, it don't matter. But there is a lot of question marks about around the Los Angeles Lakers. One headline that we were seeing, one, recently the Bucks have came out and said that they are looking to trade Giannis Antetokounmpo. You know, with his past comments and things of that sort, he has said if he does leave Milwaukee, he wants to play in a bigger market. Bigger market, the biggest markets being New York, Golden State, Los Angeles. That's probably that's what he mean by bigger market. So anything really is a bigger market than Milwaukee for the most part in the NBA, but he meant the biggest of markets. There has been a headline that came out today that says Luka does want to keep Austin Reeves instead of, if they were to try to use him in a trade for Giannis, he does want to keep Austin Reeves as his long term backcourt member. I'm kind of iffy on that because, one, if we've seen Luka and Austin Reeves play defense, neither of them are the defender you want at least one of them to be in the backcourt, and that can be an issue. But the only thing with that is we've seen this formula work before with Luka and Austin Reeves. I mean, with Luka before, we've seen Luka go to a championship with Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving is definitely not a stout defender. I will say Kyrie Irving is probably a better defender than Austin Reeves. He's a mediocre defender at the best, but I would say he's a better defender than Austin Reeves. Neither of them are great defenders, so I can see why this is a formula that has worked. That's why I don't a lot of people are out on Austin Reeves being a Laker with the contract we're gonna have to pay him, and with them being in the backcourt together because of the defensive liabilities. But we've seen this work with Luka before, so. And Luka's a very smart basketball player, so if Luka thinks it's gonna work, it might work. So, the next question is LeBron. Obviously, a lot of people are saying LeBron, is going to move teams this offseason, maybe go back to Cleveland, things of that sort. I mean, maybe retire. I don't think he retires. He has still looks to have a good amount left in the tank. I mean, I don't know. He could just be tired of playing basketball, but he still has a good amount left in the tank, so I can see why. I don't know. He could switch teams. But the reason I don't see him switching teams is because I feel like he came to Los Angeles for non-basketball reasons. He came to Los Angeles for his career and a lot of other things, well, his family at that point. But, Bryce is in college. Obviously, Bronny's on the Lakers with him. I don't think he wants to leave Bronny. And I don't think he wants to up and move Zary and Savannah at this point. So, I don't think he wants to leave Los Angeles. But I can see why, this is a big question mark because he definitely, with LeBron's, the contract, he's not somebody like D Wade said on TV. He's not someone who takes a pay cut. It is, with the team construction, it definitely is interesting because this team is missing defense, and their top three players at this point are not playing defense. I mean, we already discussed Luka and Austin Reeves, and LeBron is going to be 42 during next season. It's kind of hard to ask him to be a defender at this point. So yeah. And the last question mark is DeAndre Ayton. Where do we start with DeAndre Ayton at this point? Obviously, DeAndre Ayton has, he has had some highs, not gonna lie, especially in a Laker uniform, but he has had some lows. And these last couple games have really shown his lows. We seen the clip of JJ Redick saying, I can't play him. Basically, we seen how LeBron looked at him on the sideline. It's a lot of question mark DeAndre Ayton. He just doesn't have a lot of heart and dog in him. He can be skilled as he want to be, but as a big man, especially playing with Luka and Austin Reeves and Brown, we need you to go. Basically, we need you to run, dunk, and play defense. We don't need you to shoot middies. We don't need that. That can be that can help at some point during the game, but we don't need that. And DeAndre Ayton has shown that he just does not have the dog in him. I mean, it's multiple possessions we've seen, especially in the OKC Thunder, especially that one where he's just staring at the ball, go around. He's just getting pushed around and staring at the ball, go around him. Like, he just don't got enough dog in him. And this is not going to help this team, improve and get better. So, getting into like I did with the Nuggets, what are the Lakers' biggest three issues? Now, I thought some, and actually their issues have been this have been their issues for the last couple of years, at least the last year, 2 years. First one is point of attack defense. They did address this by getting Marcus Smart, but I think they need a wing defender. They need somebody who's bigger than that. Marcus Smart is what 6'3" at the best. They need somebody who actually, is a forward who can guard multiple positions on the court. I've been saying this for some time, but Marcus Smart did help the issue a little bit. But Marcus Smart for certain players, he's just not big enough. And Marcus Smart, is getting the latter half of his career. I know he's over 30 at this point now. We need a wing defender, point of attack defender. Next, big man. I mean, obviously I discussed DeAndre Ayton, but we need a big man. Honestly, obviously, they've been saying this because they tried to trade for Mark Williams. Obviously, that physical and everything with his health didn't go right. I mean, he looks fine to me in Phoenix, but obviously, doctors know more than me. They went to school longer than I did, so. And last issue is they need off the bench scoring. Again, another issue that they partially did address with Luke Kennard. Luke Kennard has been a big help. He was a big help in the Houston series. He hasn't been the biggest help in this series, but was definitely a big help in the Houston series. And if we get him formulated right team playing with Luke in full strength, definitely think he can be a great piece off the bench. But they still need some more. I think they thought Jake LaRavia was going to give him some more. He's not Jake LaRavia, and people have been joking about this on Twitter, but it's partially true. He's not, he's one of the few, role players, one that doesn't offer like a, substantial skill that you're like, dang, he's great at this. Like, at least somebody, with Luke Kennard, you can say he's a great jump shooter. He may not do much else outside of that. I mean, he's been better at creating offense, but at least you can say he's a great jump shooter. With Jake LaRavia, we can't say he's great at anything. He's just out there. Like, he's legit just out there. So those are the three biggest issues that I think for the Los Angeles Lakers. So now, I went into players that I think they, should seek out. This is a player, first player I've been, wanting them to get for a while, but I don't think it's a issue. I think they did try to acquire him at some point, but Pat Riley is a stubborn motherfucker. So, and that would be Andrew Wiggins. Andrew Wiggins, with one, he performed well offensively in the Hornets play-in game. But we know what Andrew Wiggins brings to the table defensively. I mean, it helped. He was the second best player on the championship team, literally 3-4 years ago. We know what he brings to the table, and I think Andrew Wiggins was always the perfect piece, to definitely help us. But Pat Riley's not trying to come off of him. I mean, I can see why, but at the same time, y'all not really winning anything, and Andrew Wiggins is the type of player he needs to be in a winning situation. He's at this point like he's kind of like a great glue guy. I mean, he's a little more than a glue guy, but because we know how talented Andrew Wiggins is, but at this point in his career, point of attack defender, he give you stuff offensively, especially a great game offensively some nights. Andrew Wiggins. Our next one I had was Lou Dort. The reason I had Lou Dort is one, Lou Dort is I think his new contract is about to kick in, so he's finna get paid. But with everything that OKC Thunder got going on, I think he's eventually going to be the odd man out, one because of his contract, the age, and things of that sort. So, and we know what he brings to the table as a perimeter defender, but it's definitely going to be hard to acquire Lou at this point. But I was just saying, I see there as a route out of OKC for him just because I feel like he's going to be the odd man out with all the draft picks and things of that sort. Another one that I was also cheering for them to get, but the problem with him is he doesn't get much offensively. Not saying he doesn't really need to because you're playing on a team with Luka Doncic, Austin Reeves, and maybe LeBron. Is Herb Jones. The Pelicans have been whatever you want to say they are for a couple years now. Obviously, they have a glimmer of hope now that they got Derek Green and Jamal Fears. They have some young players. Herb Jones is not old, but he's not as young as them either. So, maybe just because the timelines are slightly off, they might want to get rid of him. But as a defender, we know what Herb Jones does. Another one that I don't think is really these two actually play on the next two. Actually, I'm going to speak on the same thing. They play on the same team. Both of them are great defenders, and this is Derrick Jones Jr. and Chris Dunn. Both of them don't really offer much offensively, but like I said, this is not really a team that we need much more offensively, at least in the starting lineup. But Chris Dunn is kind of similar to Marcus Smart in the sense in the size thing, so I would be more leaning towards Derrick Jones Jr. Thing is, I don't know. Obviously, Derrick Jones Jr. is a very important piece to the Clippers. I mean, obviously, Tyrone Lue, that's literally was part of his statement when he said we're gonna finish the season strong. I forgot what his exact record was, but he literally said when we get Derrick Jones Jr. back. So obviously, Derrick Jones Jr. is a very vital part of them winning. But with them getting the fifth pick, with how their season ended, James Harden wanted out, what is the direction for this team, which is why I said Darius Jones Jr. Because if they feel like maybe we go young, they got Darius Garland, they can get the fifth. Who I don't know who they wanted the fifth pick because it's going to be kind of complicated without the picks fall, especially if Caleb Wilson goes at 4. I don't know who exactly they would want at 5 because a lot of the next great players are guards, and I don't see them wanting another, not smaller. I just say average size guard like a Darius Acuff next to Garland. That doesn't really make sense to me, but. That's why I say if they want to go back young, then I can see them getting rid of Derrick Jones Jr. Same thing with Chris Dunn. But like I said, Chris Dunn's kind of similar to Marcus Smart. Jalen Suggs and Derek White was my last two. Derek White is that's damn near the fairy tale. I'm not gonna lie. Like I said with my last video, with them trying to get under the apron, Derek White makes a big contract, but Derek White with the 3-point shooting and defensive, he would fit well with Luka and Austin Reeves. Only thing is they'll be kind of small-ish a little bit because that's kind of starting 3 guards. But like I said, I can see a route for him out of Boston. But we know what he brings to the table. Jalen Suggs. The reason I say that is because one, we know what Jalen Suggs does defensively. Again, it's kind of same thing with Derek White. He's kind of small 3 guards thing, but with the resurgence of Anthony Black being clearly the better offensive player and probably the better fit for playing with Paolo and Franz offensively, I can see a route for Jalen Suggs out of Orlando. Now for the next one, big men, couple big man options. One of them, Daniel Gafford. Obviously, he played with Luka before, and Luka likes lob threats. Guys just gonna go up and get it. Very obvious. And Gafford, they haven't really been. It hasn't been much to offer since Luka hasn't been on his team. So maybe their team want to get rid of him. One I thought was a long shot because he's very good, and they probably want to keep him for the future because he's not that old. Is Nick Claxton. Nick Claxton is very good defensively. He can switch. He can play. He can guard multiple positions, as well as being a rim protector. Is athletic. Another one is Walker Kessler. I don't know if I was the Jazz, I would keep him, especially with the second overall pick, because I would try to get Peterson if the best goes number 1, and I think that would make their starting lineup elite with Keontae George, Peterson, Marketing, JJJ, and Kelsey at the 5. I would think that would make it elite. So I wouldn't want to trade him, but we have heard plenty of trade rumors around Walker Kelsey. So and we also have heard Kelsey the Lakers rumors before. So that was one thing, and we know what he offers defensively, and he's great size. Um, this one. It's always confusing what Toronto's going to do. Jakob Podol. Jakob is a very decent center. He does kind of everything well. I wouldn't say he's elite at anything, but he does everything well. Great size, so that's why I thought it would be a good fit. Now this other one, he's very young, so I doubt the Kings do it. But with what I can see him being in the future, and what he offers to the table now is Dylan Cardwell. Like I said, was dead as a rookie this year, so I doubt the Kings want to get rid of him because I would think they're trying to go young at this point because they've been mediocre. They had one good season and been basically mid to butt for every other year, so that's why I don't see them getting rid of him. But what he offers to the table, and I see his development, I can see him fitting beside Luka Austin Reeves well. Now the last point is off the bench scoring. Now this one is actually they made me think of this because when I was watching Club 520 today, a player that played a lot in OKC's last playoff run, but he hasn't really been playing this run is Aaron Wiggins. Aaron Wiggins off the bench. Aaron Wiggins will be great for the Los Angeles Lakers. He gives size, play a little bit of defense, about 6'7", and he definitely can score the basketball. So definitely a great off the bench option. And now the other ones are kind of like microwave players, basically, they just come off the bench and we just want you to focus on scoring. We don't want you to do anything else but to score the basketball. And that would be Malik Monk, Cam Thomas, Colin Sexton, Quentin Grimes. One I just thought of the top of my head because I know he got his contract is up, but I would think the Hornets are like, this is probably one of the number 1 options. The Hornets is Kobe White. That would be another guy, but like I said, Malik Monk. We already seen what he does in Lakers jersey. That's but we know what he do when he's on the Kings too. He's not older. Now Malik Monk's a pretty good age. He damn near 30. I know he got to be around that 30 mark. So they probably, if they're trying to go young, they'll probably try to get rid of him, microwave type player. But we know Malik Monk has averaged a dub in the league before. We know what Malik Monk can do. Especially if we just want him to focus on scoring. We know what Cam Thompson, another player. We know what he can do. I mean, we know he got traded to the Bucks, got cut, but we know what he can do if he just has to focus on scoring. We just want him to score the basketball and put him in that role. Colin Sexton and Quinn Grimes, much more the same. We seen what Quinn Grimes did in the absence of when his stars weren't playing. Quinn Grimes damn near averaged 20-25 when his stars won't play. So we know what he can do just scoring the basketball. And just putting him in that microwave role, especially playing with Luke Kennard and spacing, having lineup staggering with Reeves and Luka Doncic, who are great playmakers. I think that, could be a lot for him. So that's how I think you can improve the Los Angeles Lakers. Like I said, their three biggest gaps to me were point of attack defense, just them having a big man in general. I feel like Jackson Hayes is actually a serviceable to good backup big. So if they get a starting level big, I think they will be all right in that sense, and maybe a little bit more size. But and then last, off the bench scoring. They don't, but Luke Kennard definitely helped. But I still feel like they need some more scoring. I mean, you try to play Laravia, and he's just not giving you much. It ain't really much more players on the bench giving you much after that. So besides Jackson Hayes, so it's really 7 men. So just get a little more depth, get somebody more serviceable players who score the basketball, more size. I think that's how you improve Los Angeles Lakers. And that's what I gotta say though. So like, share, subscribe, comment, IG, TikTok, bottom video, and we out.